Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to work on some more of the Poe. It's probably going to be more of a catch-up kind of a thing. I will show you a little piece that I'm going to work on with these envelope flips, and I was going to show you this and probably flip through a little bit of what I've been doing. I've been trying to catch up, so the time is upon us, so I got to get these Poe journals done. So I got everybody up to speed with each other, and then I've been adding things to it. Where did I get to? I believe I showed you this one, and then I'm guessing this is the next one. I don't remember showing you this page. So here is the sneaky peek. This page has laundry on it. Like, I had antique back here somewhere. Where was that? Oh, I did antiques right here. These stamps are from Lorna at Tailor Made Journals, and I loved them. She brought those out of the vault, and she had about 6 different ones, or 3 and 3, and I just loved them. This was Laundry Company. Now, what I did is, I don't know what happened, but I got on here, and it's like the laundry just disappeared. So I did the gold and fixed that, heated that, and then I went back over it with black, and it did work. It worked really well, and I really like how that turned out. So don't hesitate to layer your enamel or your heat embossing powders on top of each other. I mean, you're going to have to dry each layer as you go, but it does work really well on top of each other, which I never realized before. I guess, duh. So this one here, I have a pocket right there that you can use. You've got the lace and like measuring, because it's to do with laundry and dresses and things like that. I thought, well, maybe that'll have something to do with dressmaking as well. Over here, we have this one, and I think I must have moved this page because it it was this way. Yeah, I did, because this was on this side, and it was easier to get this in and out, but it's not too bad. And you can see I did a little script stamping. I have this piece of, and what is this in here? I think it's just a spare piece of paper I had, and I covered it. As you can see, I just kind of wrapped it around with a piece of paper bag. Then I script stamped it. I did this little squiggle stamp that's like thread, sort of like this. And then I did the dress form and like a sewing machine end. And I just made it where you can write on the back. And then it fits in here. And this is a Rolodex. I'm trying to get it in there. Like I said, this is not planned on having it on that side, and I didn't realize it. But yeah, the Rolodex, see the 2 holes? And I think you can get a punch that does that now. And then I had got these like Polaroid frames, I guess you would call it, at Michael's on clearance. So I don't think they have them anymore. But they're just like a little chipboard, and I painted it gold, and it's to remember the now. And I tucked that little bit of lace under there. Okay, so that, and then this is collage paper, Tim Holtz collage paper back here. All right, let's get this out of the way, and let me catch you up to speed. Okay, this, I wasn't going to be able to show it. I only had like that one big long strip. Actually, I had to put two 12 inches of paper. It was one of the strips I had left over, so it was kind of like this wide, and then I cut it in half. This is about three and 3/4, 3.5. So I cut it in half, and I was able to like wonky fold it because I saw this idea from A Soul's Heart. That's the name of her channel, A Soul's Heart. And it was a pleated accordion snippet. And I thought, I gotta try that. So what I did is I just kind of wonky folded it. I didn't do a pleated fold that was straight. I went this way and then that way and then that way. And then before I sewed up through here, And my machine is still messed up. So I thought, well, you know, it ain't going to hurt a thing because I want it to be kind of ragged. So I ripped and tucked in like this little black kind of clothy kind of paper. And then I had some wood grain. I had a little bit of red. And I kind of switched back and forth. I did glue them in. So this piece is not sewn over. So it's okay. It's going to stay in there. And then I just did that all the way up. And then I did a little zigzag. And it's going to be a tuck. It's supposed to be a tuck for the side of a page. And it's going to be one and only. I'm not going to make any more. So one book is going to get it, and that's it. But what you do then, I guess, is she had other little things kind of tucked in. So I thought, well, you know, maybe we could do stuff like that. So let's just go ahead and finish this, and I can get this off the board. So it's going to have the little spooky dookies. Oh, and let me tell you where I got those. So I'm going to just kind of, that's something about the mind's eye. Maybe I'll keep it up here where you can kind of see it. It's from this pack. It's an ephemera pack, Halloween. It may have been last year's because I think he puts the year on them anymore. Yeah, I did have this one last year. It's TH94261, if you can find them. It's got like little bats in it. I took all the large stuff and moved it. I don't really need that one. That one's too big as well. I've got a large crow here I'm not going to use for this. I do have a little 13. That might not be too bad. See, I put the glue in there, and then I didn't make a very big tuck. But I thought things like this, like poison. I could put poison in there somehow. Maybe right there. That's a good spot for poison. Okay. I'm going to leave it up enough to where you can tell what that is. Okay. I've got for external use only. I do have an idea to do like a pharmacy page or a drug page. I'm not really sure what you would call it. But it will, let's see what I called it. A poison page. That's what I called it. A poison page. So I may be doing something like that here soon. And here's Toxic. Let's see for something else with more red. I've got this little guy that's something to do with a doctor's office or pills. It's pills. So we're going to put that one right here. It's nice and small. That's why I was trying to go through here to find the little tiny stuff. But there wasn't too many. Let's see. What else do I have? I've got another round. Oh, that's a 13. I don't need that. Here's a prescription. I don't know that that would work. I got poison. Well, it's a big poison, but it does have red on it. Let's see what else I've got. There's a little tiny poison. There's another one. I think it's got an eyeball. That's a big one. Okay, what's this little one here? Oh, that's a 3. And there's a green poison. All right, maybe a big green poison will work. Let's try that up here. Yeah, why not? Okay. Now, I don't know that I'll put anything else on here. I probably will. Let's do it like that. All right. And then all of this can go back. It was like all kinds of little things is in here. I did have some flowers, and I thought maybe. I do know somebody that did a journal. It was, oh gosh, what is her name? Paper Yuri. Y-U-R-I. Paper Yuri. I've been watching her make sort of a Halloween thing, and I love it. I really love what she's done with it. But this is basically what I'm going to have. I don't know that I'm going to put anything else coming out of it, because it's really dark. It's got to have some light colored items. I may search over there in some of my other Tim Holtz little pieces, like Curator or something, and see what else I can find. Oop. So, there we go. Got that done. Now, this is a piece of vellum. That one I've kind of cut on, but I will use that one first. But I love these big black roses. And so what I'm going to do is I've got these envelopes. Now, I think I showed them to you before way back when. And that they're not open. They kind of sealed shut as they were drying out in the grass, because these are some of those grass things that I did. So I went ahead and just glued them all the way shut. So I'll be probably putting something else on the back side of these. This one is open. That was one I had like down below. I had done it at a different time. So what I want to do with these roses is I want to kind of rip around the outside of them. And it's just going to be something kind of to put on the front of the envelope, basically. I want to thank everybody for coming to visit. I was just about to forget. You know me, I get on to it and I just forget everything. I wasn't quite sure what I was even going to do today. I'm thinking, what can I even show you? I do have one page with an eyeball that I want to do. It's an eyeball looking through, and maybe I can kind of show you sort of what it should look like. I'll pull out my journal here in a minute. And like I said, I've been trying to get everybody up to speed with each other. I want to get around there and grab that bud. There we go. And so far, so good. And all these things that I had in my head, I wanted to do, I've been trying to get those accomplished and put in the journal, or thought about and planned a little bit. Yeah. I think it's throwing me a bit because I've got the 4. And they're kind of, I can't think of anything else except finishing these things. That's the issue. Now that one, I don't know that I'm going to use that one or the rest of this one, because, yeah, let's go ahead and go over here and start again. How many did I have so far? 2? All right. That's why I got 2 pages, because I knew it was going to come a time when this one just wasn't going to hack it. Even though there was 4 roses on here, that bottom one's kind of cut off. So let's see what we can do here. I want to get all the rest of that bud. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and grab this one. Yeah. I'm kind of going around that one, but trying to grab that one. Don't know which way I want to go. Oh my goodness, we had, the other day our power went out. And then last night it went out again, twice. Well, once during the day, while I could still craft and stuff because it was still light. But then it goes and it cuts off there last night. My poor husband, he went and watched TV and everything. He couldn't even do it. I said, well, I guess we'll have to use our phones and just watch stuff on our phones. Because it had gotten so dark at that point that I couldn't see what I was doing back here. Because, yeah, it already gotten dark. So here we go. This is what I'm thinking about. Let's see what we got here. So I don't know which side that needs to be on. So let's look in our book. Now I went through and I did some die cutting and mica spraying. And I did some frights. I still got to get those in the third and the fourth journal, I guess I should say. I haven't figured out where to use Wicked yet. So here we go. Here's the main one. And I'm going to go through here and figure out where this needs to go. I can put a pocket. Well, this one is a pocket. But the ones that don't, I can put like a pocket here. I can make one up. Yeah, I've got a few spots in here that really do need more pockets. Like You know, this one, I decorated the bottoms of all of those, and that's my little skeleton head. And then I got these in here. I don't know if I showed you that yet. I put them on like a piece of paper up behind here, so none of the rough would be on there, because the cheesecloth was what was the base. So I got that on there. So this works now as a tuck. I'm not sure what it's hitting. I guess it was hitting something under there. I got this pocket in. Here's a pocket with a side tuck. It's a pocket here. You can't see, but and then it's got a side tuck pocket. And then here is the feather pocket. I've got something in here. See, I got sort of a gap here that needs something. And I think I'm going to go ahead and get some side tucks made. That's what that one idea was for. But then, and then here, I don't like this. I'm down off the page, aren't I? So I don't really like this so much. So I am going to do, I'm going to do a horizontal belly band, which will help keep this page, you know, intact, because it's got those cuts in it, except for here and here. So that will keep it intact and held together. And then I can tuck a large journal card or whatever down in there and hide all that. So that's the idea for there. And then a pocket here. We have our 2 pockets here with the moth side tuck. And let's see what else. I don't think I have anything else in here. But I did remember I've got this stamp, and it's got like a hand writing with like an ink pen, an old-fashioned ink pen, which is something that he used. And it's got like a writing fluid bottle. So I got to do that. Now here, I did do the boo as well. And so I decided to put that right here on this crazy little pocket. And I put a few extra pieces, like a few things that Chestita had sent me. Boy, Chestita, a lot of your stuff is on these pockets that you sent me, or the goodies that you sent me. Here was one of the newest things I did. I'm trying to remember what they call these. There was a Melinda tag, and then another lady made these pocket, or whatever you want to call them. They're just a square, and you'd go from here to here with a score line, and you can write inside of them. And then depending on how you put it down, I just glued like an L. It's a tuck. So, yeah. I'll remember that name. I'll find it. I've got it written somewhere because I was always forgetting it. I couldn't remember to give the lady credit. So, anyhow. Here we go. Like, in here, it's kind of empty. I need something else in here. A pocket or a flip. Like, one of these flips might work in here, which that might be a good location for it right there. Yeah, so that's an idea. I'll remember that. Now here is something that I made up yesterday, and I had seen where somebody had done something with buttons. Now their buttons were closer together and just kind of like on a little, like what do you call those? A dovetail? A flag? The little pointy things. Okay, anyhow, theirs was mostly up here. Well, I decided to do a tuck because I have got it on a piece of paper, and you can tuck something in there. Also, and then it's like a piece of ribbon underneath there. And then I got this little trim on the edge before I put it down, and I've got these on the page decorating it. So I wanted to do that, and I finally got that done. Now, I'm not going to put any of the lace on it until I get done, or get them together, or on the hidden signature doolally. Okay, so I'm kind of empty there, too. I don't particularly need to fill this thing all the way up, because maybe the laces on the edges will do a lot of the decorating. I put this little candle here with some paper lace, and I'll do something here, and that may be a pocket as well. Plus, this is sort of a tuck pocket. Okay, I think that may have been where I was thinking to put... Oh, that may be where I was thinking to put this thing. Oh, let me get it over here. Yeah, this little guy. And it would fold this way to where it wouldn't hide this beautiful paper, but it would be like over here. And it would be glued down here, and then I'll have these other things on top of it decorating it. I think that's where I had decided to put it. And that may work because I've got the roses here. All right, so that's where it's going to go. All right, let me finish out showing you whatever, because they're getting nice and chunky. I'm getting things in here now, guys. I've glued all these down. I really like how those turned out. There's my graveyard page. It's got a little bit of lace here from the opposite page. And, oh, I got this in. I'm working on this as well. Okay. So, I think it was the White Rabbit Journal girl. She had some kind of an envelope that was decorated. And you could look through it and see, like, a picture of something on the other side, on the page. And then you could do it that way and see something that way. So, I decided to do some just spare envelopes that I had, and I used all these scraps, and I just did strips. Now I'm going to decorate this up somehow. I'm still debating how. And then on this other side where you're going to, well, let me pedal on through here. So that's that. Let's see. I don't have nothing there. I do need to put something here. I got to do a pocket of some type because of this bleed through from the heat embossing. So I definitely need to do that. Then I've got this here. And I decided to put this Poe because this background looked really good with this. And then I put a black raven that I had die cut out on there. So that page is done. And then here we go. And then I picked the word fright and like one of these little pharmacy labels, and then this bird, because I really wanted that crow in here somewhere featured. So here's the other side of that. Now I tucked this in here. Oh, did I not? Where was that one with the there? Oh, I didn't put one in here. On the other ones I put a letter. And I'll have to figure out what happened with that. Because I had like 3 letters that came in the add-on kit. And here's one of them. And I've got them in some other spots as well. I'll have to figure out where that went. Alright. You know me. I ain't quite here. But it's hard to keep up with all these little things. Oh my gosh. Alright, so this one. So it's going to go that way. I do know for sure. Now, I thought about putting something else underneath of here. And I thought, well, maybe this. I didn't know. Or I could put a doily. Something needs to be under it because it's pretty plain without. Do you like that? Otherwise, it'd be like part of a doily. And I don't know. She did have a doily in her book. So, let me see what I can do here. And I can just... But I've got a lot of spiders and cobwebs and things. So, I thought, you know, maybe that would be the way to go. So, I'm going to try to cut this. Good grief. Doesn't like to cooperate. I do need to... Well, it doesn't have to be all the way on here. I can have it hanging off a little bit. We do want to put... I'm going to go ahead and use fabric tack for this. I don't know that I might not have so much water in this formula as I would in my art glitter glue. Now, I do want to get on here. I don't know if you'll see it, but I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges with that background. I don't know that I'm going to actually notice it. Yeah, so like I said, this is sort of a catch-up for you because the last few days I've just been kind of working along and getting this done and getting that done and just trying to get these things ready. I've got, I think, 2 weeks before I go to vacation. Now, the two that I've made for my cousins, I got 2 cousins that are wanting 2 of these books. I don't think they're wanting theirs until Christmas, so I got a little bit longer on theirs. I've got one that another girl was interested in, and so that's why there's 4 altogether. So, yeah, it had to be at the very beginning. I'd only done a few pages when she contacted me about it, so. And I never do the same thing twice. So I'm doing all 4 at the same time. Alright, so this can go on here like that. Let's see how she looks. Let me hold that down and see what happens. So, I can kind of see that shining through. And I'm wondering if there's... I've got some words. Now let me show you. Okay, at the beginning I had only printed off, this is Gothic in the Belfry, Tracy Fox Creative. And I only printed off 4 pages, and this is all I have left of the 4 pages. So I've got like 1 each of these, because there's 4 journals. And I printed off some more of Tracy's kit. There was this one, and did I print both of them? I may not have. I may have only printed the one. But I may have to print another page of this. Okay, I think I'm only printed. There was one like this, and then another one with a really similar background. And so anyhow, I was going to use these big ones possibly on here. And I probably am going to print another page or 2 of this because I wanted some more, you know, to decorate each one. Alright, so there was this one, and then I had one of these, and this is a creepy, I think it's a man. All of them are men, but it's a real creepy guy. Now the purple, you know, I was okay with. I can live with it. But there's a few words at the bottom, and that may be where I pick out a word to put with this. Now, this was at the very end of her kit. I love it. I'm trying to figure out. It's too small for a journal that I would do for Halloween, I think. Although I do have some spares over there that I'm going to probably use. So that's about 4.5 by 7. So it's a 4.5 by 7. So that may be what I do with that. Okay. I just was curious on how big it was going to be. Now, here's another one. You've got the raven, the bat, and those little creepy children. And this is a bunch of his work down here. I never heard of a predicament or mystification, but I have the Pit and the Pendulum, Telltale Heart, the Black Cat, the Premature Burial. Ooh. Never bet the devil your head, the Mask of the Red Death. A lot of those I have not heard of. I need to get better on my Poe. And then we have this old lady. And there's a few weird words. There's Nevermore, and Twilight, Melancholy, Haunting, ooh, Sinister. So I've got all of these. These are going to be, they're only the one side, but they're on like the 67-pound cardstock. And I'm going to take one of my little brushes or something and brush over the back. And I didn't want to waste that ink, you know. So that's what I've got here. Now, I don't know what would be good here. Melancholy, maybe? Let's try that. Let's try Melancholy. So, I don't know if Twilight Nevermore. Yeah, it's about the only one that I can think would go good here. And if I can cut straight. I hope y'all don't care that this is another one of those off videos. Yeah, there we go. And then, where was, okay. Now over here, I've got this one type of little thing, and I don't know if I could use that as a tag, which I think I can, because it's going to be lost, you know, because it's so dark on the background. Okay, so we got that. I had plenty of those. I just never was sure what I was going to do with them. All right. Let me cut around the outside edge of this. And I'll probably just leave it that shape. It wouldn't hurt to have a little point on there. Well, I haven't told you any family stories. Oh, well, all right, let me throw one in here. There's one before, where I was discussing before, when the family moved over in 1930. Well, there was actually family members that had already moved over, and they were close kin. They were all connected. They had the same mother, let's put it that way, because my Polly Mills Salmons, she married a Salmons the first time. Yeah, it's West Virginia. And then she married his cousin, I think it was his first cousin, the second time. So this is from the first marriage. And this girl, her family moved over in like 1900 and lived in Greenbrier, West Virginia, just over the West Virginia border. And then they eventually moved over to, it was about the second place or the third place that my family lived once they moved over here. They went to Dinwiddie first, Fort Dinwiddie, and then they moved to this, they call it the Brill place. And my aunt remembers that place, and she just remembered that it was so cold. She just remembered it was so cold there. And that was like one of the first Christmases she could remember and things like that. But this, the family that came over before, I think I'm going to put that right here because of that rip. They moved in and actually are buried on that property where the family eventually got down to. I think, what was it called? Gosh, it had a name for the area. And they had one store that was just down the road. And my grandfather, he had this, what was it, a Model T Ford or something? But he didn't know how to go in reverse or back up. Like he forgot something at the store. And instead of backing up, I forget what happened. What was that? You can see, I'm not quite all here today. But anyhow, I need to do something to the back side of this. All right, I'm looking in my folder here to see what I had that could go back here and be a pocket. And I really like that. It's either that or the pen. Because where this is, I think I'll go with file folders. I really like those. Because I'm not really sure where else they would fit in the journal itself. But yeah, it was a place called McClung. And it was that he didn't know how to drive the Model T Ford very well. And instead of actually, and he didn't know how to reverse it in particular. So instead of, you know, driving back, he just parked it. He parked it and he walked. He walked back and got what he needed. But the family lived there for a good many years. Like 3 or 4, maybe. And they had another child there, little Lily. And then, let's see, I gotta cut a thumb punch out of here. I know Grandma used to take and dress chickens. She would dress them and then take them down to the store And that was her way of getting staples for the household. And it was in trade. She didn't have to have any money or anything. So she did that quite often. And I think I got off I got off the beaten track talking about, and the name was Mary Ellen. Mary Ellen Salmons was my grandma's half sister, and she was one that got married. I think she got married. I haven't found the marriage yet. People said they married over here in Virginia. Others said they got married in West Virginia. So no one knows the truth. No one knows. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Okay. But her husband, he was something. He actually went down. There was like this dance hall, I guess you'd call it, the Rhododendron Inn. And there was some kind. Now, by this time, Mary Ellen had passed away. Oh gosh, I got to cut a little bit of that off. Mary Ellen had passed away in 1927. So, I guess George, that was her husband, he was dating. I guess you could call it. He was dating. So, the girl that he was dating happened to also be dating the sheriff. Yeah, go figure. So, anyway, so George goes to the dance hall with his son, George Jr., and they were cutting a rug and dancing and this and that, and I don't know if there was supposed to have been some kind of fight or something that came of the incident, but they called the sheriff. I think they were just dancing, but the sheriff came, and he had a beef to pick with George Sr. because of the girl, you know. So, anyhow, they got in a gunfight, of course, and they go and they shoot at each other, and George Sr. shoots at the sheriff, and he kills him. And then the sheriff, do I need to put that as, no, I don't want to tuck. Then the sheriff shoots back and hits George with some bullets, but he actually leaves out of the dance hall into the woods outside. Now the son, George Jr., takes up for his dad and shoots. Now how did that work? All right. George shoots the sheriff. I'm not with it today, guys. I think George shot the sheriff. Okay, the sheriff shot George Sr. And then what happened then was the son shot the sheriff and killed him. I think that's how it went. Then the deputy actually shoots George Jr. and wounds him. And, of course, George Sr. had escaped out the into the woods. And I'm trying to figure out how I want to have this. Do I want this somehow over here along the edge? I've got a little bit of brown here and here. That's good. It's too wide that way. So I think we're going to do something like that. And I have this pretty red candle that I thought I would put there because I've got candles over here. I also got a candle that's in something. Yeah, I've got this little candle that's actually in like a candle holder. So maybe that one will work better. But yeah, I'm botching this story. So anyhow, it ends up George Sr. gets killed. the sheriff is killed because George Sr. went out and like bled out on the hillside or something. And then the son, he was wounded, but he got sent to penitentiary or something for killing the sheriff. But they got a petition up, took it to the governor, and they got him out. He was only in there 7 years for killing somebody. You know, of course, this is back in 1927 or 1929. So, yeah. But there must have been something fishy about the whole incident for them to be able to get the governor to pardon him. So yeah, all kinds of fun stuff in the family. So we're gonna, I'm over here gluing and not even showing you. So we have our lace down, which actually carries the brown around. And, yeah. See if I can get this on here. Trying to think if there was anything else I needed to show you today. Oh, I do have something weird to tell you. And I don't know if I've dreamed this twice or if it's just that, you know how sometimes you'll have a dream and you'll think you've dreamed it before, but you don't know if that's actually the case. I've had some dreams that I thought I dreamed over and over and over again. And, but what I'm getting at is last night, and you know, I don't hardly ever remember my dreams because I've got sleep apnea, but I don't wear anything. But I dreamed that I was riding Mom somewhere in the car, and she gets a phone call, and we go and she goes and answers it, and it's Dad, and you know, he just passed, you know. So how did that work? I had thought she had told me before that he had called her. And I'm thinking, you know, that can't be right. She must just be thinking, or something's wrong, or, you know, something. So anyhow, I want to do this. I'm going to put this pocket here, and I'm going to just glue this pocket, sort of, so you can still get a tuck there. But yeah, I dreamed that she told me that he had called at another point in time before. And then she gets on the phone and she's talking to him. And she says, "It's your dad." And I didn't quite believe her, but of course I was driving, so it wasn't no way to do anything. And then she hits it on speakerphone. And he gets on there and he says, "Hi, boo," or whatever he calls me. But yeah, and then I woke up. I don't know why, but I woke up. I tried to Google what that meant, and it was something about, it depended on what they were telling you in the dream, but I mean, I didn't get a chance for him to tell me anything. That was the problem. But I don't know if anybody else has had that issue. And you know, you're sitting there and you're thinking, I know he's passed away, so how can I be talking to him? But, you know, it was just a really strange, it almost reminded me of the Twilight Zone, you know. There was all these strange things. I remember something. Did I see that on Twilight Zone? It was something about, yeah, I think it was on there with Rod Sterling. Yeah. But there was this incident where somebody else had passed away and they kept calling their spouse. And I think it was a husband that had been trying to call his wife. But it was one of those situations where, you know, how could that be? So she kept getting it and kept getting it, the phone calls, I mean, and then it was a half an hour show, you know. So at the end of the show, they went to totally investigate it, and they went by where he was buried. And it turns out this phone line had broken and fell down, and it was right on top of his grave. The phone line was actually dug into the ground. So I'm guessing that meant that, yeah, he was trying to call from the grave, and that's how he was able to get through to her. I think I'm going to go up a little bit here as well to get a good hold there. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else has had any kind of incidences like that with thinking a recently deceased loved one had called them, anything like that. Okay, I'm just gonna scuff around here on the back because this is like a little journal card. There we go. And it's gonna just tuck in there like that. I like the thing with the feather. I'm trying to figure out where to put this spider. Where is this spider going to be? Maybe right there. Or maybe right there. I don't exactly like where I left that bear down there. But it could be that I put a little bit of lace here. That might be a... Yeah. That's how I'll fix that incident there. So I'm still trying to figure out. Maybe he'll just have to go down there on the front. We'll just do that. Yeah, I'm going to cross my fingers that the power don't go off again today. It's like, good grief. Get your act together, people. They were just here the other day cutting, branches and stuff. Boy, I can see miles down my... get to the end of my driveway, I can see for miles now. Whereas before, I had to almost pull out into the road to be able to see to leave. So, yeah, that's a vast improvement. Okay, I'm trying to cap my glue over here. All right, so I think I've got this page done. I'm going to look and see what I've got lace-wise. It might go there. Okay, I've got this. I got it at Hobby Lobby the other week when I bought all my other different laces. And it's really pretty. See it? Isn't that pretty? So I think that will be perfect because I'm not sure about this area up in here, but maybe once I get it down, it'll be all right. Once the glue's attached to it. Yeah, because I need to put it right here like that. And it's going to come down. I'll tell you what, let's cut it like right there. And then I'm going to cut it right there. So the loop is whole. Okay, so let's do that. And then we're going to come down here and kind of go through this loop. And then there and there. Okay, let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, so let's get the fabric tack down. I'm going to pull it back here. That's about where it's going to be. So I need to glue up and down. Come on. I think my fabric tack is getting a little on the thicker side because I've left it open to glue things, and it's sort of getting a little thicker. I just need to put some fingernail polish remover down in there and shake it up a little bit. That's about all I'll need to do. I just got that glue all over that page. I didn't mean to. Okay. Now, I can put this little beauty right here. Move it up. Get my spatula and start pushing it down a little bit. Yeah. Sometimes you have to get in these holes with just a rag. Like this is my glue wiper, and it's just about had it, so it's ready to hit the trash can. So it's a good time to use it. I'll set this here though and let it dry all the way. All right, so we are done. Did I have anything else to show you? I don't know that I do. I'm still looking on where to put Wicked. I don't have enough red on this page. I'll figure out where to put that. I will. Okay. I don't even know where I stopped. I looked down and it was still on pause. All right. So of course I have these superstitious from the Dictionary of Superstitions. I have them to go in my book. I've got all these. I think I may have told you that. And this itself does not have anything in this spot right here. So I'm going to use this Tamerlane. I think there's more to it, but that's the only part that's going to fit here. So it kind of talks about solace and everything. But I don't know where this is going to go in my book. My journal. And then I don't know if I got to show you this part on the back, where I was just kind of ripping and tearing stuff that I had. And it talked about obituaries and death and dead and man killed and stuff like that. So anyhow, and then I have a few pieces and parts, like this will make a great little side corner tuck. I got this from Celeste, and I'm going to do some kind of a garden gate or something with it. If I ever figure out what I'm going to do, I may do a little short video on it. And then we have the eyeball here, plus a few of these other things like the flowers. And there's like a little script stamp, the undertakers and caskets and coffins, that kind of thing. I'll figure out. I wanted to do like a page where it's ripped and you see the eyeball on the other page through the rip. Okay, that's my idea. And I'll try to figure that out. And maybe we'll do a video on that too. All right. Well, I thank everybody. Thank you for coming to visit. Everybody take care. Have a great day. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.